My particular pleasure to introduce my brother, Harald Link, chairman of B.Grimm, our family's 140-year-old Southeast Asian industrial group of companies that is a strong supporter of EndPandemics and more generally also of wildlife protection. Harald, please.
Thank you very much. I'm really overjoyed to see that the Vatican has joined this initiative. And coming from Thailand, the same region as the Secretary General comes from, which had many yellow spots and green spots in the presentation of Catherine Machalaba. So I'm actually speaking as a concerned citizen more, and maybe as a businessman who likes to live in a good society. And I have also invited my mentor and good friend and business champion, one of the best corporate leaders I know. He's also the world champion in sports, Professor Dr. Klaus Wucherer, who's here with us today. So in Thailand, we have the same problem as you have mentioned before in other places. And we came to wildlife protection actually by starting to protect tigers as the top of the food chain in our country. And Thailand is still a country where we have the opportunity to save tigers. And one can see in Yellowstone how the reintroduction of top of the food chain of the wolves, how they improved the ecosystem dramatically. And so saving the tigers, we also try to save the national parks and encourage other businesses to join these efforts. Because in Thailand, everybody loves elephants, but not many people love tigers. So we try to do that. And we would like to see that the wild animals are kept where they are and that we can admire them when we go into national parks rather than eating them or bringing them inside. And what unfortunately I needed to experience was that there are viruses that are much, 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 much more horrible than COVID-19. Actually, COVID-19 is a very benign virus compared to the African horse sickness virus, which was brought in by illegal trade of zebras into Thailand. They were not quarantined, neither in the country of origin, nor were they quarantined in Thailand. And they brought with them this African horse sickness. And every horse that is affected by them has a chance of 95% to die. So there is a vaccine and there's a way to protect. But can you imagine you have a virus like the African horse sickness to jump from animals to human beings, then you have an even much more serious problem than the plague in centuries ago. So I was so glad to hear all of you talk about that there is a real great effort into stopping the illegal wildlife trade. And I think we have to all support the law enforcement and especially the poor rangers who risk their lives, have very low income, and do very hard work and trying to protect wildlife in our various countries, and to engage the communities which are close to the national parks to make it also their effort. In Thailand, you have the poachers come in with 12 different types of rifles and so many different types of ammunitions, whilst our rangers often have weapons that do not work. So we have to help to support them, so to repair them. So I think this is one really important part, how we can help, and we try to encourage more businesses to support the protection of wildlife in Thailand and the neighboring countries. The other part is how can we plant more trees? How can we create more forests? How can we create more national parks? And this is something we are also very strongly engaged in. So I think we should all our businesses, and I have been trying to let our over 100,000 members of the Thai Chamber of Commerce know about these issues and ask them to help in planting millions and millions and millions of trees, and to help the communities to have a better life, that they don't have to go into the national parks and poach. And the talk to our Prime Minister and also the Minister in charge. The Prime Minister actually made the Minister in charge responsible to protect wildlife, who actually was waiting for this being put into charge, because that's what he wanted to do. And he even told me that we have enough laws. We just have to implement them. And so I was very encouraged to hear that there are even more laws coming out to stop loopholes. But I think if we can just use the laws that are here, and then as the next step, you all, Mrs. Yuan Tung Wang, want to bring in more laws that will help us protect the wildlife. I think that will be very wonderful. And as a business, we will try to keep on talking to other businesses that they should please join us in our effort and join you in your effort. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for organizing this, my brother and my new friend, Stephen, that we try to have more of these roundtables and more of public relations, and also bring that into the worldwide public understanding. Thank you.